Oh wow, that was surprising. That came up a lot quicker than Vesper's. Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Skyrim. And I've installed another mod. This one is called Winter's Sun, um, and it has to do with religion. Most citizens of Tamriel are religious. You may choose to follow a deity, receiving a minor blessing, and learning about their sacred tenets. If you wish to follow a different deity later, find and activate their shrine in the world. So these are our initial deities that we can choose to follow as Sarah. I have taken a look through all of these, and the only issue I have is that there's all of the possible deities in this mod are not here. There are a lot, and from what little testing I have done since I've installed the mod, um, I had two other characters that were following them, that were following deities. One was following Talos, and then the other one was following an elven deity. I cannot remember the name of it, but it starts with a J. Um, I was the Talos follower was a beggar who was wanting to join the military, and the other one was a wood elf who wanted to be who was a hunter. Um, After some consideration and reading through all of these, um, I'll go ahead and open each of them up. You can pause the video and read through them. Um, we have a possibility of Akatosh. I considered using Akatosh, except it's only good against dragons, and we are not focusing on dragons right now, so this wouldn't benefit me very much. And I know I can switch this later, and this would be more beneficial later, so we might follow Akatosh later, but a problem here is breaking the laws of Skyrim. Um, we have Archay as well, which Archay is the god of life. This was another really good option since she does have a very good skill. She does have a history with Archay, but again, we have the whole never openly breaking the laws of Skyrim. We might do this eventually, but not right now. We also have Dibella, which Dibella is good for improving skills. This one was really good. Um, this part's a little bit on the weird side to me, that you have to pray while naked. Um, it's definitely an oddity, but I think it's a really good idea. This one would have been a good choice as well, but again, not so much. We're going to save Magnus till last. Mara is another good one, but praying removes diseases and poisons. She doesn't. That's not going to help her. She's not. She doesn't have. She's immune to diseases and poisons as a werewolf, so that wouldn't be really necessary. Um, Also, owning whole houses. She doesn't have houses. Um, Receiving the blessing of love is governed. Being married. She's not. None of that is a thing right now, and she's not planning on doing any of that anytime soon. Um, Esther is another good one. This one's actually one I was considering for a while. Faster regeneration when standing still, slower when moving. Explore new locations, finding and standing stones, harvesting the fruits of nature, and Bretons are most deserving of my favor. This one was really a good idea because Esther actually is like friendly to the Bretons, and Sarah is a Breton. Um, she also would have got. She also has the goal of finding the standing stone, so that aligns with her personal beliefs. Harvesting the fruits of nature. I think that's just harvesting plants. So that was really good for her as well. Exploring new locations. Sarah's always been adventurous, so Esther would have been a really good option as well. But I think that's still not what she was going to go down. Not just because of the fact that I don't think she knows Esther very well. I also think it's just she has a very difficult time with accepting that as being her direction. Um, then we have Stendar. Again, another really good one that would have been fine for the 9. The problem with it is, again, we can't openly break the laws, and we're going to be doing a lot of that in the near future. Um, and Slay Daedra and the Undead, complete side quest, clear dungeons of evil. A lot of these would be good for her, but again, she's not going to follow Stendar. Xeraxius. This was another really good one, but the only issue here is receives an additional skill point from reading skill books. We've already picked up a ton of books in this game. I don't think we'll benefit heavily from this. And explore new locations, read stories of others. Study a wide variety of spells. Bretons are most. So again, this is another good Breton, but again, we would have already lost quite a bit from this one. And then finally, Zenithar. Zenithar was another really good one because improved crafting skills and learns them faster. This would have been good for her crafting skills and her growing her mind. She might switch to Zenithar later when she's in a down period, as you can switch between them. I don't know if you lose your favor progress with them, but I know you can switch between them. And invest in stores and merchants to get skill training, make weapons and armor, never openly break the laws of Skyrim. I might use the Zenithar as a starter character relation, and then them switch to something else later on. But Magnus, this one is probably the one we're going to go with. That's why I saved it to last. Spells cost less magicka, so she could cast her magic more often. But magicka only regenerates while praying. Now, at first I thought this was a terrible thought process because she could only pray once a day to gain favor. That doesn't mean she can't pray more often, she just won't gain favor when praying. Practice magic successfully while praying, and safeguard the Eye of Magnus. We already did that, so I hope we get a big boost for it, and creating enchanted items. I'm planning on doing that more, but we are going to take Magnus. Now, I will be keeping an eye out for shrines, because there are a bunch of shrines in the game that for the different gods, for the different deities out there. If she finds one that she likes, she might switch away from Magnus, especially if we can find one that agrees to our current goals and our current ambitions. But for now, she's going to follow Magnus. Which, yeah, we are currently at 45% already. That's higher than most of my characters were up until this point, and I think it is because we have already completed the Mages Guild and we've safeguarded the Eye of Magnus. But we now have the ability to pray. Oops, not what I meant to press. But now we have the ability to pray, so I think we'll go and find a spot to pray. I think this is a good spot to pray. I know the Greybeards pray here as well, so I won't be praying for very long. But I do want to pray. Speaking of which. No, you could have just said something. You just said something, Bori. I'm sorry. I just realized no, he couldn't have. It would have killed me if he did. Thank you for not saying anything, Bori. We're going to head outside and we're going to pray outside. I have not actually tested the Magnus praying yet. A lot of this today is going to be religion. We're staying up in Harai Rothgar for a little bit just to get ourselves back into a good state. One of the reasons why she is going back to praying is that she's realized she's done some meditation around the whole situation right now. She has to pray here at the fire, because then hopefully the fire will keep us warm while we pray. Alright, so if I go, what's this? Commence magic practice. Important to know the limits of your magical powers. Activate spells when you have enough magicka to cast them. The aim is to do it as fast as accurately as possible. Failure may reduce. Okay, I get this. I get this. This is interesting. I was wondering what this was going to be, and it's a little mini game. You have successfully cast 8 spells. Not bad. Okay, we might do that. We might do that every once in a while. Okay, so it's 7 p.m. right now. We're gonna be here for a while because, like I said, I'm not gonna stay here for the entire episode, but we are gonna be here until we leave in the morning. There were some other things that I wanted to take care of. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust a few things, which I normally don't do this on camera, but I wanted to let you guys know what I am changing. So first we're going to be configuring Hunterborn. And one of the things I want to do is time. I'm going to turn time off. This makes it to where we'll be able to do the harvesting without it taking up a lot of time. That'll help us with our hunting skills. We might switch to Hircine if we can find him while we're still a werewolf. We might not. I haven't decided yet. I don't know where Magnus's shrine is, and I'd like to do Magnus for a while. Um, we're also going to go for abundancy, and what I would like to do is the knives, and we're going to go common because I want them to be sold by the merchants as well. Meat and materials, we're going to do normal because I would like more meat and more materials coming from our hunting so that it's more beneficial to us to hunt. And we are going to, what's the realism do? Oh, okay, no. I don't need to worry about that. So we don't need to worry about that. So that's the Hunterborn all set up. I'm not going to change that. We are going to look at our stats. So our stats currently are with skinning, we're at level 5, which means we're adapt. I think it goes up to level 10. I'm guessing at that though, because I've never really done this very far. We're pretty good with skinning though. Harvesting, we're at level 4, again, adapt. And then, of course, foraging, we're going to be at 0 because we haven't done foraging. She might get into some foraging, I don't know. We're not going to change it. I'm not going to change any of them. I'm just looking to get a chance to it. Modules, foraging, scrimshaw, cooking, enable, disable, enable and disable discrete modules within Hunterborn. Bounty. Bounty is that foraging. Oh, yeah, just keep that enabled. I'm not going to disable that. Okay, so that's basically everything we're going to be doing with the stats today. At least I think it is. Let me take a look real quick just to make sure. Now merchants will have the knives that we need for hunting. I don't have any of the knives yet, and I wanted to have them be able to be purchased. You can make your own. I'm hoping that there are at least a few that you can make on your own. So we have our prey, instincts. I also remembered this while I was looking into this. This is our inborn ability as Bretons to use dragon skin. Absorb 50% of magicka from hostile spells for 60 seconds. I don't normally use this, but if we are fighting mages, I might try to remember to throw that on. Auxiliary armor's fine. I'm not good. I've never messed with this, and I don't plan on messing with it. And that's the only one that we need to worry about. That's all we need to worry about for that. I do need to remember to keep an eye on this, as of being a follower of the Magnus, and remembering to practice magic successfully while praying, to safeguard the Eye of Magnus and create enchanted items. Not very difficult. Magnus doesn't have a lot of things that are problematic for me. My magicka does not regen, but praying rapidly replenishes magicka. Spells are 75% less to cast. Oh my lord, that is incredible. I didn't realize how strong that was. That's 75% less to cast. We might be able to get our magic down to where we can basically cast it all the time. I was also talking with a friend of mine who basically suggested this, and I mentioned the fact that I have like 300 magic. I actually over-exaggerated that to like 600 magic. I think I can get up to 600 magic if I'm wearing the right armor and stuff. But one of the reasons why she's now worshipping Magnus, why she's going back to praying, the reason why I wanted the religious mod is I feel like her mind has been cleansed. I feel like the Greybeards were able to help cleanse her mind and bring her back. I don't think it's fully back under her desire yet, but it is getting better. You can also pray here. This would be a really good spot to pray. I think she's going to come up, like I said, she's not going to come up here every time. She's not going to pray up here. Pray up at, oh, no, not that. I'm going to use this pray a lot for a while, even though I'm not going to benefit from it because we're not going to practice magic again. I feel like I'm going to only practice magic like maybe twice a day at most, maybe at the evening before bed and then at the morning when I wake up. I am trying to get her back into a normal she's trying to basically cleanse herself of what her emotions have been lately. So that's one reason why she's doing this. The other thing we want to do, we're going to get up for this because we're gonna go back inside Tri Hrothgar right now because I would like to go back inside because it's not, she doesn't feel cold out here. Well, apparently it is chilly out here, but it's definitely colder out here than what she was about to do. I don't know if she has um, her robes on her, but she's going to be changing out of heavy armor. It's not her. She doesn't feel right wearing it anymore. She doesn't feel right giving into this. Not really any rooms, so she's just gonna be. I'm just gonna say that she told the Greybeards, "Hey, I'm gonna change out of my armor real quick. Can you guys just not come in here for a little bit?" And we're just gonna ignore any of them that come into this room while she's doing this. But I think what we're going to do is she is going to be switching away from um, heavy armor. She's going to switch away from wearing the Daedric weapons and armor for a while. The ebony mail is going to be put away for a little while. She might go back to it eventually, but I feel like she feels like she needs to bring her mind back under her own control. And she knows that wearing the Daedric weapons is going to continue to push her in that direction. And she does not have the equipment here, so she's actually going to head back home. Now, luckily, we aren't going to take as long to get back home as I thought. Actually, I just remembered, because even though she's got her mind back, I did mention she is still going to be doing her little thing right now. We are actually going to go ahead and go to Tavern's Watch, Travis's Watch, the place where we cleared out before to kill the Silverhand leader. The reason we're continuing with the Silverhand, the reason why we're going to continue this, and the reason why she'll still use her beast form is she doesn't see that as a bad thing. Magnus doesn't hate werewolves. Magnus doesn't have an issue with werewolves, so she's actually not going to change over. I guess we're gonna ex-nay that I said that, and we're going to head back down the area. I'll admit I actually got really nervous there for a second because we're gonna take this. I probably shouldn't take this because they are offerings to the Greybeards, but I didn't think about that until just this second, so we're gonna stop taking it, but we're not gonna drop the stuff that was there. Um, we're gonna say that the Greybeards said we could take some of them, since I don't know. Now, I thought this might be another shrine. I thought this might be a Talos shrine, but apparently it's not. I do believe that I can switch to the other gods and deities of Tamriel, because one of my characters started with the wood elf who was a hunter who started with the elven god. Um, got the Magna Gi, which were basically followers of Magnus that he could join, and he could start worshiping that. I don't know if it was a god or if it was just a way of life or what, but that was a religious path he could have followed. So, and that wasn't one of his original choices. He couldn't even follow Magnus at the beginning. So I think it is a possibility that she can find other shrines in the world and follow them instead. And they give different bonuses. So she will be keeping her eye out for different shrines out in the world. Um, I could see her doing Akatosh, since he's the dragon god of time and probably blessed her with her um, magic. I'm not just going to pick a god or goddess or Daedra because it's a benefit to me. I'm going to try and keep it in character of why she would choose it. Just because it increases all her stats doesn't make me think that she would automatically pick it. Is my music on? Because I know it is. I don't. This isn't one of the games that I turn the music off for. Yeah, no, it's on. It could be turned up a little higher. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have the music off because we're at this like silent point, and I'm like, does it off? Back music, please. We're also going to put Fire Breath back on. We might put Beast Form on because we're doing a Companion's quest line, and we might use the werewolf form to fight these Silverhand. We still have a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but we still have some stuff that we want to do with the werewolf, and we're getting closer to where I'll be letting go of the werewolf trait. Sarah doesn't realize it yet, but she is going to choose to. There's the music. She is going to choose to move away from being a werewolf, and she's gonna go back to being a vampire. That, or she might just go away from being a werewolf. I was talking to a friend of mine who said that it was kind of who I was talking about this. I remember this We're going to go ahead and scan him real quick. I didn't want to do it before because of the fact that we don't have a lot of space. But now that we're heading back down, I'm hoping that I can go ahead and head that eventually we will get out of that we will be heading out of here. Oh wow, that's a lot of troll meat. I feel like it should be. I should have upped it though, just because of the fact that while it's probably not necessary to up it, I feel like it's a good idea to, because I feel like it would be something that she would benefit from, because she has been hunting for a while. She did all those bears in that cave. She's done a lot of hunting in different locations. I feel like she's gotten better at hunting. I know that the game kind of simulates that, but I also wanted it to make it more. I wanted it to make it more interesting for me, just so that I was more interested in hunting and not just ignoring it. Now that doesn't mean that she's going to go out with the pure thought process of I'm going to go hunting. But if she sees an animal that she feels like hunting, she might go ahead and just take care of it. As far as our now worship of Magnus, but yet still using Umbra, like I said before, she is going to start moving away from Umbra. But she does want to kind of have it as an option. And like I said, we don't have our armor on us right now, and I don't want to teleport home just yet. What we are going to do is I am going to move away from Umbra, though, as much as I can. And in that, we are going to switch over to having healing and flames back on. I do know that having Umbro has caused me to get used to frontline combat. I'm going to try to remember that we are moving away. We do still have the Ebony Mail on, so we still have the big defense bonus. I feel like this is a good choice of hers, though, that her moving away from this is probably a good idea. But I'm hoping that it improves for her. Now, I'm sitting here thinking about this, and I might just pause the recording and bring you guys back when we make it back down to the bottom, because I feel like that would be a benefit. But I kind of... Oh. I remember this being a thing. There was this... It's a troll, okay. I was wondering... I was like, I remember this thing coming up on my... that we sensed this thing near us, but it was like, it didn't want to fight us or something. I don't know. It was weird. Oh my lord, look at our magic bar. Holy crap, that's incredible. We are going to have so much magicka for so long. Oh yeah, that's incredible. I like the fact that our magicka doesn't regenerate, though. It's gonna make being a mage more interesting, to the fact that she cannot. I actually loved the Atronach stone in Oblivion, because of the fact that with the Atronach stone you couldn't regenerate magicka, so magicka potions became more important, magical absorption became more important. Like, you had to be extremely smart with your magic. I also think we have a spell that basically makes it to where we can oh, we just went over our encumbrance. We will take a look at that in a second, and I'll figure out what I got to drop. We are actually going to leave his corpse alone for a second, because if I decide I'm going to drop some stuff, I might put it in his corpse and then disappear his corpse, just so that the stuff's not laying around here. The first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to get some soup. That'll help our weight a little bit. Not a very much amount, but a very little bit. Is there anything that we're carrying that's in here that is useless? So we have a bowl. Okay, so let's go into his inventory real quick, because we are going to use his inventory for getting rid of some of this jargon. Okay, so the first thing we're going to get rid of is we're going to get rid of this bowl. The cooking pot I want to keep. That stuff I want to keep. Nope. We really need to go back to base and drop a bunch of this crap off. But we will be doing that eventually. Get rid of some of these. I can probably get rid of this ruined pelt. I know it can be crafted into something, but I don't think it's super necessary. Let's see if we can find something else. we've carried you around for long enough. You can go here and be disappeared into oblivion. Tankard, a couple of troll skulls. I have a lot of stuff on me that I don't need. I might go through and I might just keep going through my inventory even after we've gotten ourselves back to a good amount. Alright, the next thing to get rid of, and that I'm willing to get rid of, is I'm willing to get rid of some of the arrows that we're carrying. We're carrying a bunch of arrows we do not need. I have a bone hunting knife. I didn't even realize I had a knife. Daedric arrows I'll keep. Dwarven arrows I'll keep. Ebony arrows I'll keep. Valmore arrows not good enough to keep. Might have to get rid of the other arrows too. Let's see. I'd like to keep the ice arrows. I'd like to keep the elemental arrows. Obviously, I want to keep that stuff. We will get rid of one of the pickaxes. We're now down to our carry weight. But like I said, I'm going to try and get rid of the things. She's not going to get rid of Umbra. She doesn't want this, and she doesn't want this floating around in the world. So she's definitely going to try and do something with Umbra. Probably stash it at home and keep it away from the rest of the world and away from prying eyes. We need to get rid of this shield. But again, I wanted to take it back to the base and drop it off at the base, especially since now we have to do enchanting for part of our religion. The other thing I wanted was, I was planning on having her go religious anyways after this, but the reason why I'm glad I found a mod for it is that will kind of help keep me correct. We're also going to be dropping off the bitter cup. I don't want her carrying it anymore. I feel like her carrying it is going to be a problem. Raw bear meat. That's what's weighing us down so much, is all this raw troll meat we picked up. Alright, let's see if we can move normally. Yeah, we can move normally now, so we're going to go ahead and dispose of his corpse, getting rid of all that garbage that was in our inventory. And she's going to go ahead and keep going. But our goal now is to head back home, which means what we're going to do is we're going to travel back. We're going to go home. We're going to go home. I need to not put it off. Her inventory is way too chock full of crap and garbage and stuff she doesn't need. So what we're going to do is we're going to travel back home real quick. So we're going to go to teleport Mage's Haven. Alright, wrong button. And we're going to head back to the Mage's College. I should have done this from the beginning, but yeah. Across the world in a blink of an eye. This is the reason why being a mage is good. She needs to have, and like I said before, one of the reasons why I was doing this was I felt like she needed to be. I wonder if they put a shrine to Magnus in Savos Aren's in the mage's quarters. I feel like that would make for a good place to put one. I would not be surprised if they did not, as that would not be too surprising. Nope, doesn't look like it. I was hoping there would be one here. Maybe there's one downstairs. Let's head downstairs and see if we can find one downstairs. We're gonna explore around for a minute. I'm guessing that Magnus's shrine is going to be somewhere near here, just because this would be the place I would put it if I was modding. But then again, I don't mod, so who knows? I do feel like we need to do some more with the college. We need to go talk to the people. We need to get some stuff done. I actually would like to look at our skills again and see if our skills are anywhere near anything impressive to talk about. I know our destruction skill is nearly maxed out, which once it's maxed out, I can go talk to. Once each of the magical skills, when you max it out, you can talk to one of the professors here and basically improve it even further. Hoping that would be it. Maybe it's the statue out front. I know there's a statue out front. Maybe they turned that statue into the Magnus shrine. If not, there might be one out in the world somewhere. Like I said, we'll keep an eye out for them. They do pop up as shrines on my thing, so I should be able to find them relatively simply. But I was expecting it to be here at the College of Winterhold. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Yeah. Nope. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll look around later. I was about to say, why is this closed? I know it was closed when I first looked at it. It must have been the game. It must have been so long since we've been here. Everything's reset back to the way it was before we got here, and it was just like, oh, you've already done all this. I better open up because I'm supposed to be open. Oh, my horse is here. Why is it here? It never shows up where I am. Huh. I was also considering getting convenient horses. Oh, these guys look important. They're probably coming to the college. I better talk to them.
You're the one they call Dragonborn.
Oh, they're asking me about Dragonborn. Uh, yeah, I'm Dragonborn.
Your lies fall on deaf ears, deceiver. The true Dragonborn comes. You are but his shadow. When Lord Mirak appears, all shall bear witness. None shall stand to oppose him.
Oh crap, this is...
You!
Eat fire breath. Oh crap, I did not... Okay, so I knew that these guys were going to show up. I forgot that they were going to show up, but I knew that I know who these guys are. This was part of that quest I mentioned. It's kind of funny that they were able to follow me all the way to here. Kind of gives some legitimacy to their thought process of a dragon, of who they know being Dragonborn. Yeah, and I don't know who this Mirak guy is, but I doubt he can help you. Now, Sarah probably doesn't want to kill them. She probably wouldn't have had an issue about this before her religious findings, but they are trying to kill her, and they are also now hurting the guards. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, let's take a look at this, because what is this? They look like cultists, but who the heck are these guys? Nothing on this one. I'm gonna take their gear, though, which is a terrible idea, because I'm now over encumbered. But that's okay, because now what I can do... I didn't forget we had Rise of Magicka, I just wasn't planning on using it. We're gonna use Rise of Magicka. I'm gonna zoom out so we don't get the glowy thing while we're in first person. Whichever one you're in when you activate it, you get the glowy thing. Alright, what about you? Seems like you're wearing the same things. Another steel dagger. Oh, nope, here we go. Alright, what's this? Kind of orders from, I'm guessing, this Mirak person. Or some kind of leader. Cultist orders. Board the vessel Northern Maiden, docked at Raven Rock. Take it to Windhelm. Then begin your search. Kill the false Dragonborn, known as Sarah, before she reaches Solstheim. Return with word of your success, and Mirak shall be most pleased. Okay, so this isn't from Mirak directly. It's supposed to be from a leader of some kind. But take the Northern Maiden from Raven Rock to Windhelm. Where the heck is Raven? Oh wait, no, I've read about this. We had a paper about some of the jewelry. Solstheim, huh? Maybe. We might go there. We might need to go there and deal with this. Hopefully they only sent these two, and hopefully they don't no more show up. I actually don't know if they will. I actually think it would be interesting if they kept sending cultists until you finally went and dealt with it. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually glad they showed up now, because I'd be really annoyed if they showed up at the Clockwork Tower, since they shouldn't be able to show up there. Because no one should be able to use these terminus gates except for me. Alright, I will be back. I'm going to do a bunch of inventory sorting, and I don't need that on camera again, because I'm going to do it a lot more manually than I've normally done it. But I will be back, and I will see you guys when we are ready to head back out. We're probably going to head to Riften and go deal with the Companions Guild. Once we finish with the Companions Guild and taking care of that, I might head over to Solstheim, and we might take care of Solstheim's situation. Because now that they've intervened in our situation, we're going to go deal with them. I was originally going to wait until after we took care of the Dragonborn stuff, but I feel like that just doesn't make a lot of sense, and I'd like to leave the Dragonborn thing... Well, I'd like to leave the main quest until finishing that last. Or at least until finishing that farther down the line. So, I will see you guys when I am finished doing my inventory sorting montage thing. Or it's not going to be a montage because I'm not going to record it, but when I'm finished doing my inventory sorting thing. So see you guys in a few seconds. And we're back. It's been a minute. That's probably been about, I'd say, about 45 minutes since I said goodbye to you guys earlier before we did our sorting. And as we can see, Sarah looks a bit different. Um, Her outfit has completely changed. We no longer are carrying Umbra or a couple of other things that was bouncing around in my inventory for a while. We aren't going to look at my entire inventory, but we are going to look at the fact that I am not being buffed by the Ring of Ancients or Rise of Magicka right now. At least I don't think I am. We are at 410 carry weight due to some of our equipment that we now have equipped. But we now no longer need the Ring of Ancients. We still have it, just in case we need it. But we no longer need to be carrying it on us. We no longer need to be wearing it constantly because I have ranked her inventory quite a lot. We still have the Bow of Shadows just in case we need it. We have our Ebony Arrows just in case we need them. We have the Hunting Knife. We do not have a sword right now. I decided not to go with a sword. She has the Bow of Shadows just in case she needs it for some sneaking or for some shooting. But as far as a weapon goes, magic is her weapon. She is going to be trying to use Milaz Magicka. She does have her hunting knife, which has a little bit of damage to it if she needs it. And I might be looking for a new weapon eventually. We might grab one eventually when we come back here if I decide we need it. But as far as our equipment goes, we now have Ankano's ring back on. Destruction spells costing a lot less there. Restoration spells costing a little bit less. Our magic regeneration is set to 0 constantly thanks to Magnus, but that's a fine. That will be fine. That's one reason why we're praying right now is to increase our magicka back up. I was originally going to wear Zarin's boots again. I decided to enchant my own. We now have Boots of Wandering. This is a personal enchantment of Sarah's, and it increases her carry capacity by 55. I thought we had the dual enchantments. We do not. So right now they just increase her carrying capacity. She might improve that later depending on if she can get her enchanting skill up high enough. We still need to do more enchanting, so we need to find a way to improve that. Her shoulder cape now gives her 30% magicka resistance. I tried to raise her magic resistance as much as possible to make her a true mastery of magic. She is wearing unarmored gloves, currently unenchanted because I forgot to enchant them apparently. Has her magical backpack she's been carrying for, at this point, the entire time of her time in Skyrim. She has a mantle of magic which increases her max magic by 74. A basket of magic which also increases her magicka resistance. I'm betting her magicka resistance is somewhere near 100% now. Her robes of destruction, which decrease the cost of magicka, again raising her magic regeneration, doesn't do anything. And of course, Savos' amulet, which basically gives us an increase of 100 magicka. Again, we may be looking into changing out this eventually for just straight magicka regeneration. Just straight magicka. I may want to enchant these eventually. I don't have them enchanted right now, and I don't feel like going back and enchanting them. And we may get a new ring eventually that increases our magicka or gives us more magicka or does something like that. We also have the Ring of Hearsing, which we may put on, which allows us to transform into a werewolf more often. We also are carrying the Ring of Master, which apparently is a quest item, which I think I know the quest for it, so we might be dealing with that later. But that'll increase our stamina and our sneaking and increase our illusion spells, so that's pretty useful. We of course have the Ring of Ancients, and then we have the Talisman of the Silver Tongue, which improves our prices, which I'm going to be carrying with us until we can sell stolen items anyways, as we are going to be starting to do some stealing. And of course we have Volsung on us just in case we have to go underwater for a while. It also increases our prices, so we're going to be trying to put that on before we go do trading. As far as her getup and for why I chose this, I went with a relatively dark getup, mostly focusing on her magicka, going back to her master robes of destruction. But the reason why for the face, I wanted to have a mask, but I now think that this is very good for her because she's trying to hide her identity. Not because she's trying to hide from anyone in particular, but she's trying to get away from those cultists. They kind of spooked her and she doesn't want to deal with them, so she's trying to keep them away. But we will be heading to Riften, to the other side of the country again, or the Providence country. I think it is a country. I think so. I think Skyrim would be a country. Huh. I don't really know what it would be classified as. But off to the other side of the area, over to deal with the silver hand that's here, which are currently probably that. Is it that way? Okay, let's take care of this. I don't want to travel to Solstheim. Striking at the heart. We want to be doing that one. I think that's the only one now active. It is that way. It is on the northern side of the. Is it on the northern side of the lake? Yes, it is on the northern side of the lake, so it'll be best for us to make our way through by the northern side of the lake, not to go around Riften to that side. That was my main concern of trying to figure out. I also would like to get another. I'm not gonna hunt you. Don't worry. Although if you continue to hang out. Oh, that's right, because I have the benefit that makes it to where they don't run from me anymore. I wonder if that works when I attack them. I'm not going to hunt it right now. I am proud of where my carry weight is right now, and I'm wanting to keep it there for just a little bit. A lot of things that I did according to get the carry weight here is we are not carrying as much food or potions, even though they are potions I want to carry. I put them in the box that is for travel directly inside the travel room. So if we ever need to travel back to the travel room just to restock, we can. I also dropped off a lot of our lockpicks and a bunch of other stuff that, while it doesn't have very much carry weight on its own, the quantities of which we were carrying were causing it to have a bit of carry weight. I did realize how annoying the lack of Magicka regen is going to be, mostly with Rise of Magicka. If I cast Rise of Magicka, it's just going to basically be a negative to my magical pool for a while. But I can always just pray to Magnus, which I should be doing. I should be doing regularly, anyways. Apparently, there are enemies nearby. Probably inside of here.
Give them the dogs, boys. What was that?
Really? Oh, they weren't even going to attack me. I forgot about that. Let's get Shock out. Come on. Oh. You guys really should have locked this. Where are you guys? We're gonna deal with these bandits real quick. Really? Huh. Did I get through? I don't really want to go in there. I'd rather just deal with you guys without having to go. I guess we're going inside. Oh. Hello, sir. Thank you for coming down so I could deal with you. Alright, we'll go inside. We are getting close to the end of this episode. I will probably be doing a second recording directly after it. Like I said before in not the last episode, but the episode before that, we will be cutting down on how often I am recording. We're going to take the mead. Hi. Another doggy. Tempted to let it out since I have that, since I have Kind's Peace for a while. Oh crap! You're not safe. Oh, you're a pit wolf. That's why. Is this where the pit wolves came from? Keep running into places that I'm like, is this where the pit wolves came from? Is this where the pit wolves came from? I don't think I'll ever find out. I don't think I'll ever know. I don't think you're supposed to know. I think there's multiple locations they can be from, and you'll just never know. Switch over to flames. Did I just burn myself? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's doing absolutely nothing to me. He might be doing like a tiny fragment of damage to me, but it's pretty much nothing. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. We are low on health, though. I probably am low on magicka, or at least heading in that direction. No, I'm not. Wow. Flames might be free at this point. I know it's not super cheap, but it might be cheap at this point. Ow. That was stupid. I wonder if it would be if it's better to do it this way or if it's better to do it with the fast healing. Here we go. Hello.
Is someone there?
Oh, hi guys. Anybody else? Ow. Ow from where? Ow from there. There we go. That must be the pit that they were talking about. Anything down here? If I walk down here, is something bad gonna happen? Nope. Right, that. Lockpicked mead. It's like a dark elf. Nope, nothing good on you. We're down to like 54 lockpicks now, so it's like we are going to be. It is going to be one of those things of like, if I don't keep my eye on how many I'm wasting on stuff, I might run out. Oh, the gold. I will be taking, I will be trying to take gold as I need it, but, ooh, another Floodflower Stone. Wonderful. I also noticed that we have, the gemstones that increase, that fully restore magicka, and those will be useful for our magicka, but it is currently the end of the episode, so I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys next time.